Who's there? Oh, it's you! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Citrus, and I'm an artist, an animator, or a PNG YouTuber now? I'm not exactly sure what you would call this, but I am here and I am going to be drawing for you today. Actually, today, I'm going to be drawing 3 characters from a random character generator. So stay tuned for all of those, because I did link their backstories together, so you do need all the information. I'm sorry, I had to do it to you. You can jump around if you want, that's your way of living. I'm just telling you, there's some cool facts you might miss. Anyways, let's jump right into it with the first character.
Caitlyn Smythe is 20 years old, and she's an admired pianist from Saturn. She can only fly when the moon is in Libra. Her top quality is that she is particularly colorful.
While drawing Caitlyn, I figured if she was this admired pianist from Saturn, that maybe she was some sort of intergalactic pop star who was making her stop on Earth in these characters' universe. And the Earth in this universe, instead of being full of humans, is actually filled with mythical creatures and characters from ancient lore and stories, mermaids, aliens, harpies, etc. Just Earth, but make it fantasy, really. And Caitlyn, whose real name is actually Cassiopeia, think of Caitlyn like a stage name she uses because it's easier to pronounce, and I didn't want to say the other name the whole time. Well, Caitlyn stops into this particular Earth to do a concert, and she meets a boy a few years younger than her, and she helps him along his way in his journey. I imagine her kind of as the comedic relief character of this story because she isn't used to Earth customs, so she gets some stuff wrong and makes some blunders and says silly things sometimes. Think, Starfire from Teen Titans. And maybe by the end of the story, I think that Caitlyn would have fallen in love with the Earth itself and decided to stay here and make it her home. Maybe she would finish out her tour and go do that because work is work and, girl boss, power, all that. But I think that she would have decided to stay with her friends. Design-wise, I decided to give her a keytar because it felt more space-agey than an actual piano or keyboard. And I decided she would have a sort of pastel pop-punk image. So glossy leather boots and gloves and an opalescent dress, they kind of helped sell the idea that she wasn't from Earth, but also that she was cool still. Kind of the idea of like retro futuristic vibe, like that Disney Channel original movie Xenon, how they imagined the future would have looked from the perspective of someone from the past. I was really happy with how this rendering turned out, so here she is. Let's get into the next character generated.
Gareth Jong is 17 years old. He is an introverted teenager who finds it hard to trust people. He has hair like snakes and comes from a poor family. His purpose in life is to prevent the apocalypse.
Let's get into drawing Gareth. I knew exactly what direction I wanted to go when I started drawing Gareth. I too was a goth teenager, so the idea of the slightly overgrown hair, or long fringe in the eyes, or sweaters and jeans and, a Converse type shoe, I completely got it, and it was the exact image that I was conjuring into my brain. So I too was a goth teenager, and what did I want to be more than anything in the world was, well, you guessed it, a magical girl. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to be a magical girl. I still kind of want to be a magical girl, actually, and I would take any opportunity to do it. Captain America government shots to make me super strong, maybe some sort of monstrous little villain creature that's going to take my soul and put it in an orb, and, I'm going to have to fight witches, and then if I can't do it, I'm going to become a witch. Any opportunity I would take. So specifically for Gareth, I wanted him to have a Sailor Moon-like opportunity with the transformation pen, which you'll see later in the illustration. He'll find a transformation pen. Gareth was supposed to be this angsty Gorgon teenager who stumbles across the pen and then goes on his magical boy destiny to save the world. So that's what I wanted him to be. I tried to do the poor part of the prompt in ways that I knew personally growing up in a household that was under the poverty line. Jeans that you've outgrown and oversized hand-me-down shirts and sweaters that you're hoping to grow into. I imagined Gareth was the protagonist of this story So at some point, I think that he would meet up with Caitlyn during his adventures, and she tags along with him. And he would definitely develop a crush on Caitlyn. I mean, who wouldn't? Did you see her? But she sees him more like a little brother, so he has to get over that pretty quickly. I do believe that Gareth is the youngest character, but I do think that he is perfectly capable of saving the world. He was the most fun to draw, and I felt like I created the exact image that was in my brain, so I'm really happy with how his final ink and render came out. Let's see the rest of it.
What? A pen? What am I meant to do with this? Oh.
Let's get into the next generated prompt.
Zoe O'Doherty is 26 years old. She is a modest woman from Bristol who could only eat at night. People often compare her to a skeptical tree. She is hiding a terrible secret concerning her past.
Let's get into Zoe. Zoe's description immediately read to me as vampire mommy. I mean, she can only eat at night, and she's hiding a terrible secret from her past. You know, vampires can't go out during the day, thus only eating at night. And she has to eat people to stay alive. That does sound like a pretty terrible secret from her past, does it not? So, vampiric lady it is. At first, I wasn't sure if I wanted her to be another companion on Gareth's quest to save the world, or if she would be a villain in his way. Until I decided, why couldn't she be both? So Zoe's part of the story is one of betrayal. Originally, she joins Gareth and Caitlyn as they try to save the world, and she is swayed onto the side of evil when they offer to lift her monstrous vampiric curse. Taken by this promise, she agrees to switch sides, and she betrays her friends, which causes a big rift in the story and sends them on a different path and a different spiral, possibly pushing Caitlyn and Gareth into each other's arms. Maybe not, we'll see. Visually, in the art, I decided that she should look soft and elegant and be wearing soft colors to contrast her pale skin and dark hair. I also wanted her skin to be more of a translucent, bruisey color, so I tried to include a lot of like blues and purples and reds underneath the skin. I also thought, what's the best way for a vampire to hide bloodstains and splatters on their clothes? And that's when it came to me, the idea that Zoe disguises herself as a painter. Because, hear me out, if you wear painter's smocks and carry a paintbrush, and you could get away with just saying all of the blood all over you is a little bit of extra red paint. You were doing a big portrait and you needed a lot of red. Zoe is also the oldest of the cast of three, which I think would make her probably one of the more mature ones. Which is what I think makes the betrayal in their story so much more heartbreaking, because she was the motherly figure to these two young adults, or teenager and young adult, and all of a sudden she is the antithesis to them, and she knows what they're gonna do and how she can stop it. So, without further ado, here's the rest of Zoe.
It is just paint, I swear.
Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really enjoyed making this one. It was a lot of fun to have something pre-generated for you, so you don't have to kind of come up with the entirety of the idea and you have something to work with. I love a theme. So doing this was a lot of fun, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm feeling really attached to a couple of these characters, so don't be surprised if you see them later in future videos. I thank you so much again for coming around, and I hope that you stick around with me and continue to watch my videos as I post them. There will be more coming soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I've been Citrus. Bye-bye.